Okay, so I like gaming. I really, really like gaming. So I'm not too terribly happy with what I'm seeing come out of China. But before we talk about that, let's go ahead and talk about fan art. So first of all, we have one from JacandQuil. Said, "Behold, Raz is dying from the heat because they refuse to disturb the kitty." Yes, so for those who don't know, our air conditioner is barely working here. And it's not going to be a problem here in about a month because things are going to cool down. So it's not a huge issue, all things considered. But Raz, for the longest time, have been held up in their office desperately trying to stay cool. And Hylia, our lovely, huge male cat, would hop into her lap, and nobody has the heart to move him, even though we're burning. Nobody has the heart to move him. Next, we have another one from JacandQuil. Ara, you fucking monster. Because, of course, Aras are free when they're in fan art, I guess. But, apparently, everybody enjoys the fact that I scold them whenever we say Ara on this channel. Which is weird. Anyway, Alpacent, God, I hate you. Thank you very much for redeeming your points for an Ara. Ara. You filthy degenerate. Anywho. Let's talk about this. So apparently, China is limiting children to no more than 3 hours of video games a week. China, apparently, as a country, their message is they are saying that you can throw your entire life away on video games. So they're setting a new raft of restrictions on underage screen time, which will limit children to 3 hours of online video games per week. Gamers under 18 will only be allowed to play online from 8 to 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, according to state-run media reports. That's a maximum of 1 hour a night for 3 nights. At other times, it's not allowed to provide online game services to minors in any form. Now, Chinese officials say they made this decision amid growing concern over video game addiction among teens, which President Xi Jinping called a social problem earlier this year. The announcement effectively tightens the existing curfew for underage gaming, which permitted children to play for 90 minutes per day or 3 hours on holidays. Parents and children will not be the ones who face punishment for breaking the rules. Instead, China will require all video game companies that operate in the country to set up a real-time verification for players so that children can't break rules by using fake accounts. Now, this seems to be effectively targeting just online gaming, but I can tell you right now that as somebody who does a lot of online gaming, one of the best parts about online gaming, and granted, in many ways it's equally addicting as single-player gaming. Like, single-player gaming and online gaming can both be equally addicting. But the big thing you get from online gaming is perspective. There are other people, other human beings you interact with on a daily basis when you are playing online, when you are playing games like, say, World of Warcraft, or when you're playing games like League of Legends. Now, the type of person that you might be encountering might not necessarily be your cup of tea all the time, especially in something like League, but the ability to get the perspective of other people is amazing. Meeting new people and being able to see what brought them to where they are in life, that is an amazing thing to do, especially as a child. When I was a kid, I didn't get a lot of time to socialize. I didn't, because I grew up in a Christian school, and I was socially stunted for a very long amount of time. Online games and competitive card games were my outlets. These were the ways I learned how to communicate with people. As a result, it's bred a very competitive person in me going forward. Who am I to say that there are not plenty of kids in China who are equally socially stunted, and online games can provide them with the environment where they can grow and learn? Some of my best memories are of playing online with friends of mine. If you've only got an hour, and you can only do that hour 3 times during your week, guess what you're not doing, likely? You're likely not playing an MMO, because 1 hour of time, especially for something like WoW Classic, that is not going to do you a whole lot of good. It's really functionally not. That's enough time for a single game of League of Legends. That is enough time. Oddly enough, it's plenty of time for multiple games of Pokemon Unite, owned by Tencent, Chinese-based company. Though Tencent owns League of Legends as well, so who am I to judge there? I am not a huge fan of a ban like this, especially if they already had previous restrictions in place. You see, my thought process is if the previous restrictions weren't working, and so they decided that they wanted to increase the restrictions more, I don't understand what the thought process is. Because to me, if restricting the time wasn't working, then restricting the time more isn't going to suddenly make it work betterer. Not generally. And yeah, there's probably going to be some US conservatives who want that to be a law in the United States. But I'm going to let you know right now that as long as my kid, whenever I do have one, as long as my kid has their homework done, in most cases, if it's something that's only worth like 1% of their syllabus, I might not even care. But as long as they've got their work done, as long as they've got their chores done, then if they want to spend the rest of their time online and doing gaming, that is their outlet. That is their opportunity to spend their time how they want. Their time gets spent how other people want while they're at work. Not really work, but school, which is the allegory for work here. And their time is spent how other people want when it comes to work, when they're having to spend time with family, when they are taking care of chores, when they are taking care of homework. Just like in adult life, other people control your time, and then you get home. And when you're home from work, you get to control your time. And what you choose to do with that time is your business. Not to mention, if China is only deliberately stopping online gaming specifically, what's to say about the variety of offline things that can be done gaming-wise? What are you actually accomplishing if kids can still engage in other online games? My suspicion, and I don't like giving my suspicions much on this channel because they're not things based on fact, they're based on my intuition. My suspicion is that a law like this is there so that the Chinese government can continue to indoctrinate its citizens as best they can, so that by the time they become adults, they are very thoroughly indoctrinated. I say this because I remember my time in Pensacola Christian Academy, where my time, the time that I spent when I was at home, was attempted to be controlled, or had been attempted to be controlled, by PCA. They wanted to make sure that I wasn't playing the different video games they didn't want me to play. They wanted to make sure I wasn't watching the TV shows they didn't want me to watch. And they put it on my parents to make sure that I was being a good little boy. My fear is that it is the same mentality of trying to make sure that you are properly shaped into the perfect tool going forward that is causing China to actually do this. I don't think that this is about addiction. I think this is about control. The change is expected to take place. The change is expected to place further demands on video game companies such as Tencent, the China-based maker of League of Legends, and the popular Call of Duty Wait, Tencent owns Call of Duty too? When did that happen? Does Tencent own everything? Is Tencent Disney? Jesus Christ. They recently introduced facial recognition software in order to keep up with China's earlier curfew for underage gamers. The new restriction is just one of many affecting the Chinese internet, which effectively is walled off from the global web and tightly controlled by censors. Restrictions are used to ban a wide variety of harmful content, but they are also employed to censor free speech and silence anyone or anything that the Chinese Communist Party deems a threat, whether it's karaoke songs or Winnie the Pooh. The Winnie the Pooh thing they don't like because their leader hates being called Winnie the Pooh. That one I do know. But what do you guys think about this? Because I've given my suspicion. My suspicion is this is the type of thing that is done to help control a populace and make them more used to being controlled going forward. This is about authoritarianism, not about protecting children from addiction. Video game addiction is going to happen whether it's online or offline. And this is only controlling online, which to me feels like a form of information control. But I want to know what you guys think. And I know that I've got some viewers who might actually be in China. I would like to hear your position on this as well. Because this is one of those things that I can offer my perspective as somebody who grew up in a controlling environment, but this is something that I cannot offer a perspective as somebody who hasn't visited the country and who has not taken part in the culture. I don't know, and I want that perspective. So, let me know in the comment section below what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you think that my intuition, speculation, etc. are welcome on this, or if I should just shut my slimy mouth. With all that said, though, if you want to support the channel and what I do, there are always ways to do so in the description below. And as always, everyone, insert end video tagline here.